Hello and welcome to Fly Tying Sessions with me, Alex Jardine, and today guys we've got a slightly shorter one just because I took part in the fantastic virtual Sportfish show. Really great event this weekend. I've popped a link into the information section below so you can go and check out some of the brilliant demonstrations that were on. But I've rather run away with time this weekend, so I'm going to bring you one fantastic fly today, and that's the CDC Bubble Caddis. So a fly that is well documented, really effective, high floating, got all the qualities that we are looking for in a dry fly, and this one is championed by Davey McPhail, so there's some great fly tying tutorials on this pattern by him as well. But today we're going to tie just my take on it. So hook, we've got the Partridge SLD2 in a size 14. You can tie this from a 12, a 10, all the way through to 18 if you want. Thread, we've got the Semperfli Nano Silk in black, and as usual we're just going to start a little bit back from the eye of the hook. I mentioned in my tutorial at the Sportfish show, reason for starting just back from the eye, it's a bit of a marker when you're tying forward with your fly to know to start to wind down your tying, just so you don't run out of room towards the front of the hook. Some of you may find that you tie a little bit close to the eye, so using that is a really good marker to bring your whole tying back a fraction. So simply we're just going to lay a thread base along the straight part of the shank, and the great thing with caddis patterns like this one, you can go a little bit round the bend, almost to look like an egg sac just running down, or a little bit of the abdomen that's caught in the water. And now we're going to add in the Semperfli Superfine dubbing in Caddis green, just for a small coloured section at the back. So take a small pinch of it and just tighten it slowly at first, and then you can speed up as you find everything's binding to the thread, and lay your first turns. It's okay for it to be a bit straggly and a few trailing parts, because we want it to have a little bit of movement and look buggy in the water. So lay a handful of turns just coming forward. So if you've gone round the bend, you can really bring it just until the straight part of the shank, and then create the main part of your body. So those of you that have watched a few of the videos will know that I like this Nature Spirit African Goat dubbing in the Canadian Leech Brown. There's lots of guard hairs, a little bit tricky to dub, so do take your time when working with this material, but it will give you a really good effect, particularly on dry flies. So we'll press the material to the thread and bind a smallish pith at the top, and then we can work down the length of it, always turning one way. Don't turn on and then turn back again, because what you're doing is locking the fibres in, and then if you turn back you're almost undoing the work you've just done. So always turn in the same direction. Once you're happy that that's on there, slide it up. Again, like before, we want lots of straggly bits coming off. It's a nice leggy effect. But it helps make the fly more buoyant as well, because it's an area that will capture air bubbles and therefore makes it a bit harder to sink. So particularly if you fish fast flowing waters, this is a great option. In slower water where the surface tension is that much greater, it isn't as necessary. So we're going to add some more in. Slide that up. And keep on winding. With caddis you can keep the body quite a uniform uniform shape all the way along. It's not like a mayfly upwing pattern where there's a taper going forward in the body. I'm just going to add one little bit more. We just want to make sure that we've got plenty of room for the wing. So build that up, and now you'll see I've just got a little bit of where I started my thread right at the beginning, which is my indicator to start the wing part. So this is where the bubble name comes from. We've got natural CDC, and I've got 2 feathers here, similar in shape and size, and I've paired them up, both facing the same direction, and stroke all the fibres together. And now rotate it round so the tips are facing forward and the remainder of the feathers facing backwards, and it's curving up slightly. And lie that in and trap those tip sections down, and you can actually stroke that back to neaten it up. And then to create your bubble, simply fold those feathers over until the bubble, so there's bend in the CDC, reaches the tag of the body. So fold it over and then take your thread up, pinch it between thumb and forefinger and slide it down on top, and you'll see that that's caught that wing and created a bubble shape. And then use that nano silk to apply lots of pressure so that's not going to spin round. And then take your scissors and just trim out those entrails and tidy everything up. You can leave a little bit of CDC facing forward. You'll see you'll get some of these long fibres going back. In my opinion, that's great. That adds a little bit more to the fly, more to be buoyant, more to be seen by fish from underneath. But if you really want a perfect looking fly, you can squeeze them together and just pinch them out with the thumbnail and shorten them down a bit. But it adds a really nice profile. And then we're going to take our next material, which is deer hair, and simply take a small selection. That CDC will give you plenty of buoyancy. This is just a further buoyancy aid. And we'll take a small pinch, roughly, and then by stroking you want to remove that fluffy underfur away. We don't want to tie that in. And then take your deer hair stacker and you place tip down into your stacker, whatever type that you've got, and then give it a firm tap on the table. That jingles all of the deer hair around and lines up the tips nicely. And then don't pull that up, otherwise you'll find yourself in a world of trouble. Turn it on its side so it's level and remove the base section, and that will then expose just the tips, ready for you to tie in to your fly. Always have it so the tips are pointing the direction that you want to tie with, so you're not passing them around in your hand and dislodging them. And then pinch them out so you've got them there ready to tie, and then line them up. So it's up to you. You can either have them overshooting the CDC. I quite like mine just to overshoot slightly but not too much, and then pinch down. And that first turn, don't put too much pressure on, that's just catching the fibres there, and then start to wind towards the eye of the hook and you can apply more pressure. So you see those forward facing sections now beginning to open out as we apply more pressure. But the reason I don't want to apply pressure onto the back ones is I don't want all of the tag fibres to open out. I want them to hold the shape of the wing. So maintaining that. The nano silk gives me lots of control at the front, and if you want you can add a couple of turns in front and back on top. Leave that long for the time being, and then what I do for the thorax region, you can either use the same dubbing as your body, or you can take another CDC feather and clip out some of the fibres. So I'm just going to cut a selection of them and then simply get them and dub them on as you would any other dubbing. It's a great dubbing, really easy to work with and in keeping with the colour of the fly, and rotate it round and it will give you that really nice furry caddis head. And this is why I like to keep those deer hair sections long, because it allows you to hold everything out the way and take your thread right into the front. Grab your whip finish tool or finish by hand and just place your whip finish underneath the deer hair, and then that second locking one just for good measure, and then you can nip your thread out. And then what we can do here is take our deer hair and we can leave, if you want, I find that it works without doing it, but you can leave two of the strands long to be the antenna going forward and trim the others just still slightly long because it adds to the head. But there you have a really great caddis pattern for all times of the year. Particularly works well now when we've got the granum about, which I know are showing up on a lot of rivers at the moment. But even in the height of summer, you can maybe drop the green segment and just have an all brown body or an all tan body, and you've got a great all season long caddis. So there you have it, the bubble caddis. So thank you for joining. Sorry it's not a longer video this week, but if you've enjoyed it, please subscribe, please like and comment if you've got any questions, and do join me on the next one where we'll be back up to our normal fly tying session and looking at a range of patterns. Thank you very much.